Okay, how's everybody doing out there, YouTubers? We are going to be starting the month of August here with an August vintage event. And here in our inventory, we've hand selected 10 diamonds in total, 5 August vintage cushions, and 5 August vintage rounds that we are slashing the prices on. Okay? And I want to make you aware of these. We're going to be they're going to be 3 warm August vintage cushions and 2 whites, and then a nice little assortment of August vintage rounds. So to kick it off, we have here an absolutely spectacular. It's a 1.09. It's a YZ color VS1, beautiful, clean, warm colored August vintage cushion. This diamond is valued at $52.32, which is a great price on this diamond to begin with, but we're knocking it down to $4,500. Okay, and you see, and as I have these diamonds as I'm describing, you see some video come up on the screen that I've taken of the diamond in natural daylighting too. Beautiful, beautiful diamond. The next one is going to be a much lighter colored, albeit considered a little bit warm, but a diamond that these next two face up pretty white. And this next one is a 111. It is an LVVS2, another August vintage cushion. And this one is valued at $5,435, and we are knocking this one down to $4,800. Okay. By the way, the prices that I'm quoting you are also going to be, these are all wire prices. There's a little bit of a difference from the wire to the credit card price. But, yeah, another beautiful square August vintage cushion. The next August vintage cushion in this event is a 112. And this is another L color and a VS1. This one was priced at $53.76, and we're also knocking this one down to $4,800. So a beautiful, whether you get them as a pair or as individuals, we're selling them as individuals, but you can get them as a pair if you want, of course. And we're slashing the numbers on that too down to $4,800. And just a little word about L-colored August vintage cushions. These diamonds, every one of them have AGS Ideal Light performance. Their ability to grab and reflect light is like no other vintage cushion on the market, period. So when you have these diamonds, particularly say like in natural daylight, normally when we think of an L color, we think of a yellow diamond, and L colors generally don't even go well with brilliant cuts. But when you get to these vintage cuts, man, they look dreamy, and because of the optics, it faces up more. I'm not going to say white, icy white like a D through F or anything, or even a GH, but it has a beautiful, warm tone, almost like a vanilla tone to it. They're just spectacular. Many people have written about it already. Okay, these next 2 August vintage cushions are some two very decent size. They're 2 caraters. All right. The first one I want to make you aware of is a 2.02 carat, a G color VS2. All right, and to cut this diamond today would cost exactly what we have it published for. Okay, which is up at around 31 grand. All right. Remember, when they cut a 2 carat August vintage cushion, this is something they could have easily gotten a 2.5 carat plus out of if they weren't cutting an August vintage cushion. But we have our cutters key to keep on cutting that material down until they get the perfect proportions and dimensions for an August vintage cushion. So this one was $31,221, and we're knocking this one down to $28,360. Okay. So this is a hottie, a beautiful 2 carat icy. I'm going to say icy white. Yep, a G color is a beautiful white August vintage cushion in a nice 2 carat size. Okay, this next one is another 2 carater. It's a 2 carat and is an HVS1. This one we're knocking down from $30,720 down to $26,350. Okay, so Two beautiful white, clean August vintage cushions on sale at prices that right now within the rough market, we see prices have not only stabilized. They went. We've seen them go down. We've seen them go back up in 2011. They've kind of stabilized right now, the prices of rough, and we're seeing slight increases now happen overseas in Antwerp, where we're buying the rough for these. So the prices that you're getting on these 2 carat and even on what I just mentioned before, once these sell, there's no guarantees you're going to be able to get the prices that we're quoting on these right now. Okay, so that concludes the August vintage cushions. Now to move on to the August vintage rounds. The first one I want to make you aware of is an 83 point. It's an E color and it's an SI2. All right. Now this diamond is 5,120. Okay. Now I'm just going to be straight up with you here. This SI2 had an eye visible inclusion, and I was not happy with that. Okay, but we sent it out and we had it lab graded with AGS before we did anything to it. But I had this diamond clarity enhanced because I want to make that imperfection invisible to the human eye. Okay, so it's an 80. So it's a legitimately graded AGS ESI2, and is an August vintage round. Phenomenal optics, just as you see here on the screen. And this one we're knocking down crazy from $5,120 down to $3,800. So if you're looking for a beautiful diamond, a little bit under a carat, you don't want to go over $4,000 on the diamond itself, and you love the big, bold, broad reflections of the August vintage and the charm of the European cut, it does not get better than what you see in these diamonds. The next one I want to make you aware of is another beautiful stone. This one here is it's a 1 carat August vintage round. It's an eye color. It's an I1. It's a GIA excellent in polish and symmetry. Similar to our rounds, get ideal like that last August vintage round got ideal in polish and symmetry. This one here we knocked down from $4,750 to $3,700. Okay, so $1,050 off. Okay, and I just want to say something about this one. This is, even though this diamond is graded as an I1, your primary inclusion is located off to the side of the diamond, which makes this a very strategically located inclusion for a diamond that's I1, and it is a spectacular diamond. We stand behind it 110%. Just bear in mind, too, that even though we're having specials on these August vintage diamonds, we still back them with the same lifetime policies, which means that not only do you have 30 days for a full cash refund or exchange, but if you ever want to trade up, we're going to give you back what you paid for this diamond on a trade-in, and you don't lose a dime. All right, now the next diamond I want to make you aware of is actually not 1, but 2 stones, because we're offering them as a set. Okay, and here in the inventory we have a pair of August vintage rounds, 2.56 carat total weight. I have them in a pair of studs that you see here up on the screen. One of them is an R. They're both R colors. They're perfectly matching August vintage, warm August vintage rounds. R colors. One is an IF, internally flawless, and one is a VVS. I can't see whether it's a VVS1 or a VVS2. In any case, the diamonds are valued at $15,443. We're slashing these down to $11,520. Okay, so a beautiful set of perfectly cut European cut diamonds down to $11,520. You can't beat it. It's just a spectacular. That means each diamond's around roughly 5,700, something like that. Absolutely gorgeous pair. All right, and the next diamond we're going to make you aware of, and the last one, is going to be a 1.29 carat August vintage round. It is an F color. It is a VS1 clarity. It's super white. It is crystal clear. The optics, of course, are to die for, just as they are in all of these. This one, it's $18,692, and we're slashing it down to $16,500 even. So about a $2,100 savings on this diamond. Okay, so that wraps up this this August vintage event. We're going to keep these diamonds on sale definitely through this month. I know whenever we run these specials, we always get emails saying, "What else do you got on special? What else you got on special?" It's okay to ask us, but not every diamond can we do these cuts to like we did on this. All right. The reason primarily why we can do it to the diamonds that we did here in this particular viewing is because these were diamonds that we had purchased before increases had gone into effect, and we can afford to do it on these guys. So with that being said, have a great day, and I hope some of you are able to take advantage of the price slashes that we're doing on these diamonds. Have a great day. Bye-bye.